the trigger.
All right, so on this podcast, we are going to be talking about how Canadians can invest into U.S. real estate and what the nuances are for doing so.
Yeah, it's possible. We're getting, as Canada is getting priced out, like even in Windsor, the cheapest city in Ontario, it's getting hard to find returns, okay? You've got thousands of buyers all chasing a few investment properties. It's diminishing returns at a pace I did not expect. It's way faster than I thought.
Is it actually?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And as we've been doing this Coachwood stuff, we're getting a lot of people reaching out, whether or not to invest with us or to how to invest as an individual in the U.S. So we did a lot of research. You have a lot of experience just from being over there.
Yeah.
And yes, you can do it. We're going to kind of break down how the banks look at you when you're not a Canadian resident or citizen or whatever the case is.
So one of the biggest things is financing. That's by far the biggest hurdle.
Yeah, for sure. They don't know you over there. You don't have any credit.
Yeah.
Why would the banks lend to you? And they don't have anything to. They don't have any assets. To back
so the biggest thing for them is like recourse, right?
Yes, that's the key right there.
So the two biggest hurdles are, number one, I would say the financing, and number two is the management if you're not at scale. So we're gonna go through. There's like 9 kind of things that I put together that I found. Not difficult, but like going through the process, I've learned, and there are hurdles and things like that. And they're essentially nuances for that make it difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the number one thing we should talk about is the fact that Canadian banks will loan to you, but typically for vacation home purposes.
Yes.
Like Canadian banks, right? And they'll typically only do it for up to 3. Is the feedback that we're getting from brokers, banks, locally, also not necessarily locally, provincially, whatever.
Yeah, and let's break that down. You can't necessarily go to the Canadian banks and say, I'm buying an investment property and renting it out as a pure investment property.
No.
You have to kind of label it as a personal residence and a vacation home.
Yeah.
And I think there's a stipulation in there that you have to live in the house for at least 2 weeks a year or something.
Exactly.
Right?
So if it's essentially a vacation home, the couple people that we've spoken with, the banks that we've spoken with, that I've spoken with prior to even going down this road with Coachwood, is that you actually have to like live in or vacation there yourself for at least 2 weeks. Now, whether or not they actually follow up on those kind of things is a different story. Nonetheless, it's a nuance that they typically require.
Yeah. Here's the big factor for that. Whether or not they check up, you're right. They might not.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. When I called the bank, let's call it 6 months ago, and I asked them, hey, can I buy a property in the U.S.? They say, well, how many properties do you own? And I'm like, well, in my personal name, I own, 7+. And they're like, well, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. You can't do it because now they're counting it as, a commercial loan, and they're taking a debt service coverage ratio of all those properties. So because I already have those properties in my name, those other 3 properties theoretically would be in my name as well. And now you're just capped out.
The banks will not allow you to commercially purchase, like Canadian banks will not allow you to commercially purchase investment property. Like you're not going to, the banks will not allow you to purchase vacation homes in a company, in a company or corporation or whatever, because they know why you're doing it.
Yeah, it's an investment.
It's an investment. Yeah. It's an investment vehicle. They're not going to do it. So the reason why they will allow you to do it in your personal name is because it's a vacation home, and that's what gets you, through that kind of hurdle.
It's a loophole. Let's call it
exactly.
And here's the problem with that. Most people
loophole can close anytime, right?
Yep. But people that are inquiring with me, because I get it a lot because I'm a real estate agent, they're kind of beginners, right? They might own 1 or 0 properties in Canada. They're having a hard time buying here. They think they're immediately going to go to the States and start buying.
Yeah.
When in reality, what's going to happen is it's going to be more advanced investors that have figured out the Canadian game, built a decent portfolio, and then you're ready to scale to the States. And then you try to do it, and all of a sudden they're like, how many properties do you own? And you tell them, hey, I've got 10 properties, and you're not going to be able to buy anything, right? Unless you're going over there and buying cash, which there goes your leverage. It's just stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're talking vacation home, you're talking, single family, maybe a duplex you can get away with or something, but you're not going to be buying any sort of mid-sized multifamily.
Yeah, no, you're not.
As a vacation
so let's talk about the second major issue is management. There's no chance that you're going to be buying single-family homes or these vacation homes or
Airbnb
or duplex and all this kind of stuff and not have a management nightmare on your hands.
Absolutely.
Or maybe you will get management in there, but they are going to rape you in terms of cost.
People don't understand management.
And another problem too that I have actually run into in my day has been when you are hands off and you don't have your finger on the pulse, they will take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they know, like, you know, for us, for example, for Coachwood, if we need to check up on something, like I'm sending John on a plane down there, wherever. It doesn't even matter. Like he's on a plane within 24 hours. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
You're managing the manager. You're making sure you're on
are
ball.
you getting? Are you doing that? Is it worth $1,000 plane ticket or $1,000 trip to what? If you think you're getting screwed on replacing a toilet, is it worth it? It's worth it for us. Because at this point, we have over 100 units in the States, right? 120 units in the States. It's worth it for us now, right? Scale. But is it worth it for you? Exactly. No. This is where scale comes into. And you're not going to get professional property management to rent or to manage your duplex, your single family home. Like I work with property managers. They won't touch you if you have under 50 units in one building. They won't even fucking touch you. The good ones. Exactly. But that's what I work with. Yeah. Right? That's what I work with.
In Windsor, put it this way. Okay, I've been in the game for a while now. I've seen all the property managers. I still haven't really found a great property manager for small stuff.
Yeah.
Because the best property management companies, you can't, how do you manage 5,000 single family homes or duplexes in crappy locations? It's difficult. So the good companies, they manage high quality, high number assets, and they just do it really well.
Yeah.
And these other ones that are doing the small stuff, they're just too dispersed. You got too many properties, not enough staff, and it becomes an absolute nightmare. They charge you too much.
Yeah, exactly.
They have their own handyman. You're getting bills for the call. Like it becomes a nightmare.
Yeah,
so
and management's going to suffer because of the lack of scale.
Absolutely.
It just will.
And
I've gone down these roads too.
You're not there to manage it. You're going to be getting calls. You're going to be getting bills in the mail, and there goes your profit margin. Yeah. And then the U.S. typically doesn't appreciate as quickly as the Canadian market. Yeah. So that you're going to end up probably making more in Canada when you're playing small ball. In my opinion.
Yeah. Right now, the markets there are appreciating.
If you buy in the here's the problem. This is what I'm finding though. People are like, "Oh, I want to go to Florida, whatever," and then they go over there thinking that it's 2009, and they say, "Oh my God, the market's hot."
Yeah.
So then they have to go to like the sub market where you when you go to the sub markets that you don't understand, you're playing with fire.
Yeah. Okay? Oh yeah, big time.
Go to Daytona Beach, playing with fire.
What people really don't understand with the United States is like. It's a different animal. Yeah. There's a reason why a lot of these places have gated communities.
Yes.
And it's to keep out certain demographics and certain people out of those communities. And you can go over a couple streets and you can be in for a world of hurt and you don't even know it. That's why I when I'm looking at these deals, the analytical software that I have can tell me within like 1 mile radiuses of these properties. Like I know everything I need to know about these properties. The majority of people out there are not going to be able to tell me that they can. They
how
can
much does that membership cost you, by the way?
It's thousands a month.
Thousands a month.
It's actually thousands a month.
It's like 20, 30 grand a year.
Yeah. So it is. Yeah. It's about $30,000 a year, something like that. But again, it's crucial. Like I don't use that only, but it's crucial for me to make analytical decisions, right?
It's a starting point, and then
for sure
a bunch of other research. And then here's another thing: skill and experience as an investor to spot nuances, to go down there, talk to the right people, ask the right questions, go visit the building, meet the management, go to the police station like we did in Florida. All these things that are going to come into play. And John, who owns one single family home that wants to make the jump to the US, that doesn't even know how the game here, like. You can do it, but you better be careful. You better be taking some flights down soon.
Oh, yeah.
And the market, like we have literally, 25 to 30 major cities in Canada, okay?
Yeah.
How many do you think there are in Florida alone?
It's probably, the population there is 10 times what it is in Canada. It would make sense that if there's 20, 30 major markets in Canada, there's 10 times the amount of major markets there, so 200-300.
Yeah.
You can't make an educated... What I find is a big mistake right now is people, what they're doing is they're just like, oh, I'm going to invest in Florida.
Yes.
Motherfuckers, Florida has almost 30 million people.
And growing, like it's growing fast.
Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of markets, sub-markets that you had better be careful. So me and Scott have been to Florida like 5 times last year. And we drove through some really fucking weird shit.
Oh, man.
And you have to be very careful, man. Like, remember on paper, this stuff looked really good. And we were looking it up around here. And then remember that one we went to go check out and we drove through that area? Remember that one? This was in Oakland.
Oh,
looked
Oakland,
great.
yeah,
Oakland looked great. This property looked great. We drove there, man. It was not. It was not right.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, you could just tell. You get this vibe, and like that. That's what I mean. Like, do you have the wherewithal? Do you have the time? Do you have the experience to be able to, like, literally go down there? How many times? Like, we went down there 5 times. Like the amount of capital that we spent going down there to Florida 5 times. Was like what? When we had to fly from from Canada, they weren't letting people in at that point through the U.S. and the
PCR
borders.
tests, hotel
all that kind of crazy stuff. Like, we were like $2,500 a pop.
Yeah.
It was like 10, 12 grand.
Yeah, and it took
costs.
4 or 5 trips to get it right.
Exactly.
And to get the right submarket and
that's
else.
what I find is like one of the biggest things is that people just think, oh, we're just man, this is such a big thing. And it reminds me of like the car market, where people are like, I'm just gonna get like a BMW. It's an exotic, but it's still a car, right?
So true.
There's so many nuances with BMWs. There's so many electronic issues potentially. Like they typically have, like, Jesse, back me up here. Those luxury style vehicles, like, they're cool and everything, and they're exotic and stuff like that. But
you better know what you're getting into.
You better know what you're getting into. Yeah, like, you can buy a $30,000 Bentley. But that Bentley is going to come with with the same amount of expenses as a $250,000 new one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think, I'm just going to go down there and invest in Florida. They don't realize that Florida still has the West Ends, the Ford Cities, and way more. Like,
I want to touch on
way worse.
I want to touch on one thing too. That's a great point.
Yeah.
The worst submarket of Windsor, is like nowhere near the worst submarket of like some of these U.S. cities. Like, our worst submarket, like even historically, the Villages, maybe the West End. Yeah. There's not really like gun violence all that much. Maybe one shooting every couple years or something. Yeah. But like, you get in the wrong neighborhood down in the States, and it's a different ballgame.
So I'll paint people a picture. Like, this is a reality. So you got one single family home, you got a duplex, whatever. So you have, like, Susie property manager Smith going, whatever.
That's who she would be too. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck, right? Susie Smith going to fucking property manager unit, right? And she's like, okay, I'm here to collect rent. And the guy in the unit or whatever is like, man, I'm not going to pay you. Yeah. What's Susie going to do? Like, Susie's getting the equivalent of an N4 eviction notice, whatever, over there. She's going to try to evict the guy. And what's the guy going to do? I'm not going to leave. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? Like, seriously, what are you going to do? Then the sheriff comes, kicks him out. Then he comes back and fucks your place up. Yeah. Like, I'm serious. Like, that has actually that has happened to me in not so bad areas. Yeah. So, like, are you going to know that the duplex or a single family home that you're buying in is great, number one, and then how are you going to actually properly manage it? You're not going to be able to do it. And if you can, I shouldn't say you can't. I shouldn't say you can't. It can be done. People have done it, I'm sure. But you better
aware
know your shit
of this, or you're going to get burned.
And then the other alternative is, okay, we're going to get in a nice gated community. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I've looked into that. The rents don't pay for what you're buying over there. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, let's break that down. So when you go to Florida, you're attracted to low prices relative to Windsor, Canada, Ontario. Yeah. But the problem is, when you get into the best markets, the prices aren't low. So you have to know the submarket of the submarket and the next up and coming one. You need to be an expert.
You are getting more value. Here's the thing: like a $500,000 gated community home in Florida is probably way nicer and way better than what you're getting in Windsor, for example, for $500,000. However, you're not making up for it in rent.
Yes,
you get what I'm trying to say. That is the problem.
That's the top end of the market there.
It is.
And when you're at the top end of the market, you don't make any money. Yeah. So you need to be in the middle range typically.
Yeah. And the middle range is the danger zone.
Yeah, which is exactly right. Yeah. You can do it. You just have to find it and pick right.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like
whatever,
that is the danger zone. That, hey, is this the middle range? Yeah. There's so many nuances with certain submarkets and markets in the United States that, you're going into a $200,000 home, but what's the area? Tell me the demographics of you are not going to be able to support like your purchase. Yeah. You're not going to be able to do it. And think about this. You're only there for a fucking week. or 4 days or whatever you're there. You're not living
Probably
there.
visiting like 10 different cities.
Like you don't know shit.
Yeah.
You don't know fuck all. And then the agents that you're using down there just want to sell you a fucking house. Yeah. And they know that you're not from there, so they don't care about really developing a relationship with you.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you don't have the people on your team to be able to support this. You don't. When I buy real estate over there, I don't rely on the fucking selling agents. I know they don't give a shit. I know that they want to just sell me property and move on to the fucking next guy. They know that for sure. Mm-hmm. They know it. They don't know that. How do they know? They don't know. They don't know me. Mm-hmm. They don't know. I'm a new guy. How do you treat new guys, Scott? That are arguably, they're just greenhorns. Like, how do you actually treat them?
Well, I mean,
you're not going to treat them as serious as you're going to treat me.
Oh, definitely not as serious, right? Because they have to prove themselves to me.
Exactly.
Right?
They have to prove themselves, right?
You have to, because the market's too hot.
So if they want to buy something, you're probably not going to, you're probably, okay, fine. If you want to, you're going to try to steer them in the right direction, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
But if you're coming down there, right? Like, people call me all the time. Well, I'm looking at Windsor and I'm looking at 10 different markets in Canada. And I'm like, well, pick your market and come call me. Because the market's too hot everywhere. Like, until you choose a market, I can't help you. But, if you have any questions, whatever, I'll answer them. But so these people that are going down to Florida trying to link up with agents, you think they're giving you the real time of day if they're a good agent that are busy, and the good agents are busy.
Yeah.
If they're a busy, good agent, you ain't getting any service from them.
Yeah.
Because they don't know you and you're not really a big player.
Yeah. I've dealt with like tons of agents where I was like, and we have like the firepower to be able to like do things, and like these motherfuckers just don't take me serious.
Yeah.
People need to understand, like I might be considered big time or relative decently big or whatever in Windsor. I'm fucking nothing down there.
Yeah,
like, these guys have
really
serious fucking portfolios down there, man.
Yeah.
And they don't play around. And so you better bring your A game, and you better bring some seriousness. And then another thing too is the contracts are different. Like
legal fees,
the legals are different. Like, all that shit is so different. It's not the same. You could get seriously fucking hurt down there financially if you make the wrong move, not crossing your I's, dotting your T's.
Crossing your T's, dotting your I's?
Crossing your T's and dotting your I's.
Yeah.
So
we want to dispel the myths so people don't waste their time, right? Of, yes, you can do it, but you better think through all these things. Yeah. What's your next point on the list? Because I know we got a bunch to get through. So one of the things that is big, I want to start getting into like what I found personally going over there at scale, right? So one of the biggest things that allowed me to do it was the fact that lenders, they will require proof of funds. They'll require proof of the wherewithal that you can do this, and also proof of stability. Mm-hmm. So how much property do you have? How long have you had it? And your experience in owning that said property. And you're talking for bigger stuff.
Yes.
Commercial.
And one of the biggest things that even on my first property, they're not so concerned anymore, because we've taken down 2, but on the first property, they were like adamant about. So I don't own. So the first property that we did with Coachwood was a 56 unit apartment building in the US. Okay. Elevators, 6 stories, fucking flat roof. What else? Boiler systems, generators, like it's a serious fucking thing. Okay. They were very skeptical of the fact that I didn't own anything in Canada to the same scale.
That's a good point.
Now, what sold them on this was the fact that I was on the board of directors for 7 years and president of a condo corporation that had 220 units for 4. So, and that was in the Goyo building that I still own property in. So that was essentially something that I feel was like a tipping point for them, where I sold them on the fact that, like, listen, I understand how even something, 4 times the size actually operates, because I was on the board of directors, I was president of the board, this and that. So they sold them on that. But in Canada, it's so hard to get the properties that size at that scale that actually just make money. They do come up.
Pretty much impossible.
Yeah, they do come up. They're typically more pocket listings, and the ones that come up are fucking horse shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, there might be some great I've seen some great portfolios come up in London, Toronto, but those fucking things trade for 2 caps. Yeah. Like, I'm not buying that. Yeah. I'm not interested in that. So
and here's the thing: if they made money, you would have already bought a bunch.
100%.
Like you're in the game every day. You look for that stuff.
100%. I didn't originally. Yeah. I've always dreamed of going to the States and starting my whole real estate career over there and investments and stuff like that. I never actually thought I was going to like start syndicating out equity, but I always had dreams of when I first got into real estate going to the States. I wanted to start in single family homes in Detroit, and then I was like, well, that's a fucking crapshoot. But just never happened that way. Now we're finally there because I have scale, right? Mm-hmm. However, I see properties come up here. In Windsor and larger scale, like I said, JLL will send me listings that come up, and these larger, commercial, agents and stuff like that will actually send me pocket listings of stuff. But fuck, they make no money.
That's what I'm
saying.
They
make no money. It's a 10-year plan of renovictions and
major capex,
major capex.
Costs,
yeah,
time,
there's opportunity.
Energy, effort.
And then you run the risk of them coming all the existing tenants coming back in your units, and people are like, they're not going to come back. I've had tenants come back after I tried to do that like model.
100%.
They have come back.
100%.
Tenants are savvy, man. They understand.
Well, especially when they're paying $600 rent.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like they're coming back. If they know what's happening, they are coming back. Yeah. They're going to leave that one guy that they're currently renting high and dry, then they're going to come back to your unit.
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen all the time with me, but it has happened. Mm-hmm. So with that said, and then even if you let it sit there and just let, organically, if you think that you're, I remember that one Windsor Towers, right? That one building, it was like 130 units on the water in Windsor. I wanted to go after it, but then it's just like just even the thought of like letting that happen and just letting it appreciate in value.
You can do better. You can
do better.
Yeah,
and the Canadian government is restricting rent increases to what, 1.2%? Like it's ridiculous. Like the electrical bills are going to take that up over the next
they'll double,
year.
Triple that.
Yeah. So it doesn't even make any sense. Whereas in the States, we're picking markets where there's no restrictions on rental increases. It's according to the market.
Yeah.
That is it.
Canada's the place for small ball. Okay. Yeah. You play small, you buy single family homes, duplexes, let the appreciation roll and blah, blah, blah. But if you are looking to get to scale, you got to go to the States.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to do it as an individual player. 99% of the people listening to this podcast, myself included. And if you ever get to that scale where you can actually go over there, it's going to take you a decade or 15 years.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to do all the stuff that you had to do to get over there.
Yeah.
And I think when most people think about going to the States, they have this dream of scale. Yeah. And they have this dream of, 8 plexes and 10 plexes and 20 units and this and that, whatever. And it's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So you're going to go over there and play small ball. And when you go over there and play small ball, these are the hurdles that you run into: financing, management, scaling, right? You're not going to be able to scale your portfolio over there.
Yeah. Another nuance as well is that that I have found, the agents they operate very different. So for real estate at scale. So the way that agents work, there's a couple nuances here. If you're a commercial realtor and you're listing a property, what ends up happening is if I want to bring my own agent, so say you're like, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to hire my own agent, and he's going to tell me what's really good, or if this is a good property or not. So what's going to happen is you're going to make your commission on that sale. But what I have to do is I have to pay my agent out of pocket.
The buyer pays his own agent.
The buyer pays his own agent. And if I want to bring an agent into the deal, I'm paying out of pocket. So are you willing to pay 1-2% or whatever of the purchase price to that agent to help you take down that deal? That's a big fucking ticket. If we're talking millions of dollars, that's a big ticket item. Number 2 is right when you get, so the States operates on, like, say, for example, like an LOI on scaled property. Okay. So an LOI would be like the equivalent of, it's not even the equivalent. An LOI is a letter of intent, and basically the letter of intent outlines the high level agreements or nuances for the deal, like conditions, purchase price, what else? Timelines, like the high level nuances, right? That you would see in a contract. Then right after that, it's purchase agreement that's fucking 30 pages long. And you have to have an attorney take a look at it. Guess how much that takes?
Tell me.
So an attorney, just to take a look at a purchase agreement or draft one up, if you're buying a property, I would really advise that you hire a U.S. attorney and you have your US attorney draft up that legal agreement, or at the very least, redline the purchase agreement from the selling agent and or attorney, okay? But still, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. Like, before I even have a purchase agreement fucking accepted, I'm like 5,000 Canadian deep in the hole.
Yeah.
Like, already, like it's not even a question. I'm like, because it takes like, and when I'm drafting a purchase agreement, because I've already worked with my US lawyer like so much, it might be like $2,000, $2,500 US, not Canadian. So add 30% onto that, you're like what? $3,500, and that's because I'm fucking seasoned now.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's already made on legal fees on me for like $150,000 fucking dollars in the last year. Like, he knows I'm serious. You go to some fucking US attorney that you don't even know, and you're like, hey, I want to buy a fucking 20plex or whatever. He's going to charge you fucking $5,000 Canadian, or like 4,000 US. Like, that's what it takes. Like,
to draw an offer.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why is because the US operates very different. Over here, we almost have like a template. It's almost like a template, correct?
It's a template.
It's pretty much a template. Over there, it is not a template.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a lawyer look at these purchase agreements, you can get fucked.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can get fucked.
So you've got lawyer fees that are double, triple just to get the offer accepted.
Yeah.
You got to pay $4 or $5,000.
Yeah.
If you're working with a buyer's agent, you're paying the buyer's agent's commission.
Yeah.
If you're not working with the buyer's agent, that means you're working with the seller agent. And guess what they're going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to sell you. So you can't trust them.
You can't trust them at all. Exactly. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. We're working on our third deal right now. Okay. I'm right about to go into like having the purchase agreement signed and all that stuff. I have a US lawyer looking at it right now. I'm going to be a couple $1,000s deep in the hole. But the problem is if you don't hire a US attorney for your side, like, this deal requires me to put $100,000 US down to hold, like, to as a deposit. So what happens if I don't have a U.S. attorney take a look at it and make sure my, again, my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
You're going to lose your deposit.
I risk,
or potentially, yeah.
I risk the chance of losing my deposit. And I'll tell you another thing. I've been in 2 deals now where we weren't as tight as we should have been. Because over here in Canada, I operate a little bit loose.
You can be pretty loose here.
You can be a little bit loose over here. So I tried to take that same mentality over to the States, and I almost got fucking burned. And the reason why I almost got burned was because the purchase and sale agreement wasn't as tight as I had, not that I wanted, but we didn't go in as tight, like I was saying. And I almost lost $450,000 US.
I remember that. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And the reason why I almost lost that was because there was like a nuance in the purchase and sale agreement. And you know what they said to me? We're going to hold your shit.
Yeah.
We're going to hold your deposit. And if you want it, sue us.
Yeah.
The States is a very different animal, man. And they will sue you for it. Or you have to sue them.
Lawsuits
and then guess what?
Then
what happens? You got to sue them. Guess how much in legal fees are going to be? $100,000?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to make it difficult for you to pull out of these deals.
Yeah.
And they do make it difficult.
Yeah.
I had to spend a little bit of money to get my fucking deposit back.
And these can be considered good things over there because it limits the playing field from these small time players like interfering with things.
It truly does. But again, there's also a lot of large ones that,
Yeah, they have it done. But because you love barriers, and once you break them down and figure out the game and get above that, right, escape velocity, then you're there, right? And I think you're already pretty close to figuring out this US game.
Yeah, and we have a team in place that it runs like a well-oiled machine.
Accountant, US lawyer,
US lawyer,
banking,
US accountant,
US
that are actually local.
Yeah,
and they'll they're scaling with us.
So consider this: whoever's listening to this, right? If you have this vision of the US and coming in there, just take everything we're saying, and if you're gonna go do it, be prepared for this. And if you're not prepared to do what Dan's talking about right now, then maybe stick to the Canadian market or come in the syndication route.
Yeah.
Or go grind through it like Dan's doing and be prepared to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time and effort to set this up properly. Yeah. What do we got for the next point?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and setting up the proper structure for legal and tax. I mean, just for me being able to do it for legal and tax, I was well over $100,000 in legal fees and accounting fees.
People people don't see this, man. Like
done the right way, and I don't mean like you can have some Joe Schmo lawyer and accountant set it up so that you can get it done. But a lot of times, what people don't realize is that they don't think like 5 years ahead when you actually want to sell the property.
Yes,
right. And that's the biggest thing is like okay, fine, you can take down these properties now, but what happens in 5 years when you got to sell it? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to the structure? Is the structure the right structure so that you're not getting fucked on the back end?
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
I think a good point here for small scale people that want to go over to the States, for small scale stuff, you're going to get double taxed.
Yeah, and it's not only, and it's also not like a one size fits all kind of structure. Like these structures are unique, like per property. Because the states operate different, you have to, different corps in different states, like this and that. So it's a very intense structure, unique to each style of property and location of property.
But even like a single family home, say I go over buy a single family vacation home, right? Even though it's really investment property, and let's say it appreciates $100,000 and I sell it after 10 years, what's the tax implication there? Because I've heard you pay the state tax of whatever state it's in, and then you repatriate the money into Canada and you get taxed at that point, and then it goes on to your income as capital gains tax.
And there's and I've heard a lot of people say, well, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep the money over in the U.S. You can't.
How do you plan to do that?
It doesn't even matter. You can keep it over in the States, but you have to declare it in Canada.
Yeah,
so it doesn't
I think
matter.
you have to declare it in the States too.
You have to do, of course. You have to declare it in the States, obviously, but you also have to declare it in Canada, regardless if you keep it in the US or not.
Good point.
That's what I'm saying, right? So at the end of the day, like the only option would be to like hide it from CRA. And then if you hide it from CRA and then they find out, you're like super fucked.
Yeah, you're just playing with fire.
Exactly.
And
so
most people aren't going to do
it's
that.
just it's not as easy as people think. You can't just like it's a different country. There's so many different nuances. There's so many ways you can get hurt. The States operates very differently, and that's why it's a little bit more of a capitalistic, a little bit more.
And that's why we're saying,
right?
if you're going to go to the States, you go over there with the mindset of scale.
Yeah.
You don't go over there with the mindset of one or two properties because this is why taxation, management,
it's just not
lending.
It's not worth it. I've looked into it.
It's insane. You're not going to make any more money at a small scale than you would here.
If I was going over to the US small scale, I wouldn't do it. The reason why I've waited so long is so that I could build the scale that I wanted in order to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there's no chance that we're going to be able to get something in the States and I'm going to be able to run it effectively and make money unless it was at like serious scale.
Yeah. Let's talk about one of the main reasons that is, which I know you have it on your points, but one roof per purchase. One furnace, one AC per purchase.
Say for example, a roof on my apartment building over in the US costs like, I don't even know, $150,000. If I had 56, what is it? What does the unit makes up on Canton? Yeah. So say for example, I had like even just like 50, call it 50. I have 56 units in Canton. Call it 40. Call it 40 2-bed, 1-bath, like little bungalows. You're talking a $5,000 pop roof, right? Do the math on that.
Yeah.
You're probably 25, 30, 40% higher in costs, over time.
That's
right?
Just the roof.
That's just
now
the roof.
Furnace, now AC.
Exactly. Now you have multiple, all kinds of different, different. You have buying power, right? Like when I go to an HVAC guy and I say, hey, like I need to buy like 10 units, and they're those like hotel packs, which are very common over the United States, right? They're I'm talking about like those hotel packs that kind of like. When you walk into a hotel, they're kind of ground level. They're not window ACs. You know what I'm talking about? These units have a lot of properties over in the U.S. with apartment buildings. They have a lot of that kind of stuff, which they're called PTAC. I can't remember exactly.
Way too much time on this.
Yeah, whatever. But I think people know what I'm talking about. Like this is very different from like a residential style furnace, right? It's a very different animal. There's a lot of economies of scale when you're dealing with things under one roof, right? You don't have. There's not 40 driveways to clean. There's not 40 yards to cut. Like it's very different. Very, very, very different. There's one in the management is the biggest thing. Like, we're getting management at like, 3 to 4% in these properties.
You're double or triple.
Way more. Yeah. Sure. You're so much more. And let alone like Airbnb. People think they're going to Airbnb. Oh my God. Like, you're so heavy in cost.
You can do Airbnb again, I think, if you have scale. Yeah. And if you have one Airbnb, I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, but again, it's a business, right? You're not running real estate. You're running a business, right?
That's a good point. It's no longer passive. Yeah, it's an active form of income.
So you're probably going to be limited to what you can actually scale because a lot of your time is going to be invested into actually running more. So I shouldn't say a business. What I mean, because I run my real estate like a business, what I mean is a more intense business that have very much day-to-day
It's active
activities.
Income. It's active income. 100%
It's
active.
It's more of a business plan style business rather than an investment style business.
And how do banks look at Airbnb?
Yeah, they don't like them.
No, they count them as like I don't. In general, I don't even think they'll consider it.
Yeah,
they'll use market. Yeah, they'll use market rents. They don't care if you're getting
property. Yeah.
If you're getting $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
and the market rent is $1,500, they're using $1,500.
They kind of qualify it as almost like a vacant property a lot of times of what I've seen.
Which means they're not going to lend on your income.
Or if you have significant a significant track record for that property of it being rented as an Airbnb long term or whatever the case is, they'll probably look at it more favorable. But if you have this idea where you're going to buy a home and then Airbnb it and it's vacant, you might have a difficult time. Like that's going to be difficult.
What do you mean if it's vacant?
Well, because it's not like you don't have a lease in place, or there's not a tenant, or it's not long term.
Oh, I see what you mean.
How are you going to operate? The bank's going to be like, well, how are you going to operate if you're Airbnb in Florida and you're in fucking Windsor?
Yeah.
Like these are questions that are going to come up, and you better have a fucking answer for it.
Yeah.
So these are serious things that the banks are going to look into, right? Like especially like forget it. Like if you think you're going to go over the States and get U.S. lending and sell them on this, like.
Yeah, and I find that the biggest thing here, the reason why we're doing this is because so many people are wasting so much time with this vision of going to the States without considering these factors.
Yeah.
And then what they end up doing is waiting a year and doing nothing.
Yeah.
They don't buy anything in Canada. They don't make any moves. And then they come up to a year and they say, well, that's harder than I thought. I guess I'm just going to stick to Canada. They missed a year of opportunity.
Yeah.
So we're dismantling all the myths.
Yeah.
And again, it's not to say that you can't do it.
Yeah.
These are the hurdles that you're going to have to overcome.
Oh, yeah.
We got anything else on the list there?
It was to get lending over in the States, I had to put together a serious business plan, and they questioned it. They really, truly questioned it. They put me through the ringer on the first one. They truly put me through the ringer.
Now this is large multi.
Yeah,
right?
large multi. Another thing too is on the first one, they originally required $250,000 to hold on deposit in case I fucked up.
Is that initially, or is that actually held by the lender right now?
Held by the lender. I ended up convincing them to do $250,000 for in as a letter of credit. So basically what that means is instead of them actually taking my money, the bank, RBC, I've dealt with RBC over here in Canada mostly, they basically submitted a letter of credit saying, we won't allow Dan to draw down to the point where he doesn't have $250,000 equivalent in US in the bank account or on his line of credits.
Oh.
So that if shit does hit the fan in Canton, we can send you $250,000 if you call it.
That's huge.
Do you have an extra $250,000? And I'll tell you another one. The North Miami Beach deal that we're doing right now. I have to put down an extra $161,000 US to even do the deal.
Yeah.
They're going to hold it in deposit to make sure, again, I don't fuck up. So are you willing? Do you have extra funds to be able to do this? And here's another thing too. I make good money. My other companies make good money. On paper, I personally don't make good money, but my other companies make good money. They've been around for, well over 10 years. I have very stable, financials and very strong financials on not only my portfolio, but the nutritional company and everything. They still require this.
Now, why is that? Why is
because
that?
I'm an international borrower.
And they don't have any collateral if something goes wrong.
The only, they treat it as the only recourse that they have is they take the building over. That's it.
Which they don't want to do.
No, and I fought tooth and nail, man. So basically the $161,000 that the bank is holding on deposit, they're going to hold it for a year. It's 6 months of principal and interest, and they hold it for a year. Make sure I don't fuck up. And even at closing, I have to preload the taxes for 5 months.
Jeez.
So I have to put down an extra $57,000 US at closing.
And that's opportunity cost.
Big time opportunity cost. So you better fucking, you better have some,
firepower.
Yeah, you better have some firepower if you think you're going to go over the States and at scale.
Yeah.
Like this is no joke.
Yeah, and I'm just learning a lot of this stuff.
And the crazy thing is too, is like, there's no chance that's happening in Canada. But I'm a newbie over there. I'm a new guy over there. They don't give a fuck what I've done in Canada. They don't give a shit. The only reason why they give a shit about what I've done in Canada is because it shows that I have the experience and and they agree to even allowing me to do it over there.
Yeah, it's so true.
Right?
Now, do you see these restrictions easing for you?
I do, yeah.
Coachwood over time?
Yeah.
As you get...
So one of the reasons why the $161,000 for North Miami Beach was actually required is because the previous owner was actually delinquent on her condo fees.
Oh, geez.
On the HOA fees. On the HOA fees and actually on her taxes. So it was just poorly mismanaged. That's why we're getting such a great deal on that property, because of the current management is just fucking a disaster.
And also ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and way ahead of the curve. Yeah. Took like 8 months to put this deal together.
Yeah.
So they're actually requiring that in response to very poor management, where the banks don't really, this is like actually really odd. The banks didn't really consider the fact. I actually talked to them yesterday, and I actually kind of got a little bit frustrated with them, because I'm trying to explain to them, listen, I'm not the current owner. I have, what do you call them? Fucking references. I have like I have bank references from numerous banks in town saying like, listen, Dan is a great borrower. He's got X amount and millions of dollars out on loan from us and this and that and mortgage. He's not of that type of, he doesn't run his business that way. I find it a little bit odd that I actually have to still put $161,000 down on it. Mm-hmm. And after having tens of millions of dollars out from the current, like the Canadian banks, and the Canadian banks saying, hey, Dan's a great borrower. He's got X amount of dollars. He's never defaulted on one loan that we've ever put out to him. Here's his finances from his other companies. They're very strong. Here's his finances and experience from a real estate portfolio. And they're like, nope, we don't give a shit. Yeah. You're still putting it down because of the fuck ups from the previous seller. And we're going to make sure that you don't fuck up in the same way.
Jeez.
So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah. So the U.S. is definitely more cutthroat than here.
Yeah.
Like probably 10x.
Oh, man. And what's crazy too is they come up with this shit. They kind of, in the commitment letters, they're kind of like, hey, we have the option to do this. It's not like, hey, you're doing it, and then you agree. It's, we have the option, and then, oh, by the way, we're doing it. Boom.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about the taxes, the front loading of the taxes, until we actually got the mortgage docs 2 days before closing date.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, so that's an extra fucking $57,000 I got to put down front loaded taxes.
And that's why this is the big leagues. Man.
Exactly.
It's a different game over there.
You can't fuck around over there.
You need lawyers.
And then what are you going to do? Yeah. So say, for example, you don't have the $57,000 extra in liquid. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? Where is that money going to come from?
Yeah.
2 days before closing, where are you going to get it from? Like, seriously.
Question.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not this, like, U.S. real estate to scale is not for the faint of heart. Mm-hmm. It is not.
Now, once you figure it out and you get good at it, it's probably, it is way easier to scale over there than here.
And one of the reasons why it's actually easier to scale over there than here is because 80% of real estate owned in the U.S. is owned, individually or corporately by an individual.
Yeah.
And 20% is owned by, say institutions like REITs and, pension funds and insurance funds and things like that. Over in Canada, it's flipped.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when good scale property comes up in Canada, it's getting scooped up by institutions, the REITs,
you got no
boardwalks,
chance.
Timber Creeks, and they're paying like 2.5, maybe 3 caps.
Yeah.
That shit just doesn't make any money. In the first couple of years, you're not even profitable. Arguably, right? So
that's why you can't get large.
You're not cash flowing.
You literally can't.
The LTV that you're having to put down because it doesn't cash flow is like 60-40, 50-50 in some cases. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So you're not actually. You're one of the great things about real estate is it's leverage. You can leverage your capital.
It's the key.
It is the key. Exactly. Yeah. It's becoming more difficult to leverage capital in Canada.
It's all, it's getting squeezed.
So because of that, your returns are significantly squeezed.
Big time. And then the banks are tightening. They're less likely to lend to you going forward as rates rise. Yeah. And they're qualifying you at higher and higher rates. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have a hard time scaling your portfolio here, especially if you're just starting out.
For sure.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And even when you do get to scale, if you still want to buy those large multifamilies, good luck.
Yeah.
Go compete with Timber Creek.
Yeah.
Then you're going to say, well, I want to go to the U.S. Okay, well, if you're going to do that, here, listen to what Dan just had to go through.
Yeah.
I don't know, a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
And hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment and just grinding and putting a team together.
Yeah.
And yes, you can do it, but this is the battle that you're gonna have to face.
Yeah, there's no chance. Like I had to subsidize like the capital to put all this together from the other companies, right? I didn't.
So I would say overall, like I wouldn't recommend small scale investing in the US. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. The maybe 1 to 5% of people that actually want to do it will actually do it and have success. I think the other 95% of people will see these hurdles and say it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because the debt's, the terms of the lending aren't high enough ratios, right?
Yeah.
I want 80-20 LTV. I don't want 65-35.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm not going to be able to scale over there. They're going to cap me at 3 properties. I'm going to have to label them all as second homes.
Yeah.
Well, what am I going to do then? Number 3, how am I going to research the market? I don't live there. I don't know it. I can't get down there. I don't have the money to go fly down all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just not, and then management and everything else. Your returns are going to be maybe lower after taxes and stuff than they would be here. I'm just going to focus on where I'm an expert.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the States, you go at scale.
Yeah.
And you said that to me 6 or 8 months ago, and I didn't understand what you meant. I'm like, I don't know if Dan's right.
Yeah.
But now that I see exactly what you're saying, like Dan is 100% right.
Yeah.
And that's why almost nobody buys in the States. This is why.
It is
at
tough,
a small scale.
Yeah.
And even going to buy at scale is freaking hard, man.
Like, hey, listen, like at the end of the day, like, buying a few, rental properties and stuff like that. It's, again, people just don't understand the nuances and
they see dollar signs, right? They see Florida's a booming market. I'm just going to go down there and buy a few rental houses and make $1 million.
Yeah.
And we're like, well,
yeah,
you could, first of all, you could do that here.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, it's not that easy because any hot market that you go into is already saturated.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go to the sub-markets where you're playing with fire.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to go down there 10 times to even figure out what market you want to be in.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to pay $25,000 a year for CoStar to figure out
and then you're already behind the curve.
Oh,
like all these people that are trying to go down to Florida right now, they're behind the curve.
Already behind.
You're already behind.
Yeah.
I am able to pull analytics and see trends before they actually become
What did
well-known.
you texted me yesterday
Yeah.
about the Miami deal, and you said I haven't been able to find anything like that. It's only been 8 months, right?
Yeah.
From exploration, purchase agreement to closing, it's been about 8 months. And you said I haven't seen one deal with those numbers.
Not even close.
The cap rate is almost cut in half in 8 months.
Yeah.
We were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
We saw the trends and we got in there. So the people, looking at single family homes, I still think Florida has a long ways to go, but you're not at ground zero anymore. You're going over there and easily snapping up deals at heavy discounts.
People are just following the bandwagon now.
Yeah.
They're just following the bandwagon. There's a lot more submarkets in the States that are seeing the same style of analytics and the same style of metrics that I saw in North Miami Beach before I did this deal that we're going to execute on.
Yeah, you're just going to pivot, right? Okay,
exactly.
Miami gets tapped out. Can't find any deals in Florida. Okay, we got this submarket. You've already been researching this for years.
Yeah.
And we have the teams and the agents and stuff in place to communicate with.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Get your head out of your ass, right? Like don't just go look at it. Spend 2 weeks if you're a small player. See if it's actually for you. If it's not, pivot.
Yeah.
Don't waste a year or two thinking you're going to go over there and become some big player.
Yeah.
1% of people might actually do it. The rest won't.
Yeah.
Stick to Canada.
Yeah.
Or invest with Coachwood at scale.
Yeah. That's
and
it.
then, maybe
if you're actually serious about getting into US real estate, hit us up on coachwoodcapital.com or hit us up on Instagram and
you are an owner.
You actually own property with us at scale. And we take care of all these nuances for you, and you're arguably going to make more money.
You use even in this podcast a lot.
I did, but that's the reality of it, right? Like, there's a lot of nuances that people don't realize, right?
It is true. It is true. It's just like, okay, Florida's market's booming.
Because they're not issues. Like, I don't want to say issues. They're nuances that people don't.
I look at them as issues. They are issues. They're hurdles.
I get it, and I don't want to say that people can't do this, but they are issues. Yeah, I guess at the end of the day,
this is me, dude. This is what I did. I'm like, oh my god, Florida's market's so big. I want to go invest there. And then it's like, okay, nuance or hurdle. Okay, well, I'm not actually going to do that. As a small player, it's not worth it.
It's like you want to know what the issue is? This is exactly how I can explain it. Okay? Investing with us is like shopping at Costco for ketchup. There's fucking 2 types. You got Heinz and you got Kirkland.
Yeah.
Okay? And Kirkland's a little bit less expensive. Okay? Or you can go to Zehrs and there's 50 types and then you end up leaving with none because you don't know which fucking one to pick. That's the reality of it.
What if I need ketchup though? I don't think
you're gonna go back to Costco and buy fucking Kirkland. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
Costco makes it easy for you to make a decision. They take all the guesswork out. They take all the analytical data out.
They do all. Yeah, that's a good point.
You get what I'm trying to say?
When I go to Costco,
there's no decision fatigue.
Yes.
These guys going down to Florida and going in whatever market, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
100%.
They don't know the demographics within like a 1 mile, 5 mile, 10 mile radius. Like that shit's important. Do you know what the average household income is? Do you know what the population growth is for those 1 to 1, 3, 5, 10 mile radius? Do you know what the major employers are in that area? Is employment decreasing or is it increasing? What's the absorption rate of the local area? Yeah. Are rental units renting faster than people can build them? Like you're not finding that info out. Like this is all shit that I look at to determine, okay, we're buying in this area or we're buying this property that is in that submarket.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Nobody's
and
coming up with that.
That's all very important stuff. And I like your Costco analogy because when I go to Costco, I know that whatever I'm buying is already pre-qualified.
Exactly.
They have very strict standards of what they let sell in their.
And how do I know this? Because we're going to be in Costco. Yeah. Canadian Protein.
Love the plug there, but it's so true. And how much rigmarole have you had to go through?
Man.
They hammer you on cost, they hammer you on quality, they hammer you on quantity.
And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to buy the Kirkland because I bet you it's better than Heinz. Because it's their own brand.
I agree.
You see what I'm trying to
Kirkland
say?
Is
so
a
why
good
the
brand.
fuck is anybody going down there trying to do it themselves? They need to invest in Coachwood Capital with us.
Yeah.
Not invest for us.
Yes.
Invest with us. You are a partner in Coachwood Capital. You own the property yourself. You are a partner in that property that you are buying into, and we take all of the bullshit out.
We are Costco.
Yes. We are the Costco
and then we present you with the opportunity.
Yes.
You know it's pre-qualified. You know the work's been done. You know it's going to be good.
Yes.
You know the numbers are accurate. Like we are the Costco.
Yes.
And I like what you said there too.
Costco of Canadians investing in United States real estate.
Absolutely love it. A one-stop shop where the work is already done.
Exactly.
And you're going to get the quality. And the key is here, guys, partner, not investor.
Yeah, you're not an investor.
Partner. You own the company that owns the building. You own the equity. You own the appreciation.
Yeah.
You get a paid distribution rent check every month, direct deposit.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with management. You're getting economies of scale.
Yeah. And we don't take a fucking dime unless that property sells for more than what we bought it for.
Yes.
Not a fucking dime for the entire term.
Yeah, you're getting
not
free
a
management.
fucking dime.
You're getting free.
So it pushes us to perform at our absolute peak.
Yeah, who's most high risk here?
Oh, for sure, me. Yeah.
Not only
I'm the guarantor on the loan. I'm everything.
Liability and financially, and also everybody on the team puts their money where the mouth is. Like I'm heavily invested as well in every deal that we do.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and that's the best way to learn is have your skin in the game.
100%.
So you can do it. Okay, that's why we did this. We did the research. Here's what you got to do if you're going to do it. And here's why, for the most people, it doesn't make sense. Don't waste your time. Don't waste another year looking at it.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. I got a few people messaging me. This is year 2 now of I'm going to buy in Florida. And they haven't made even one step to doing it. They haven't made one relationship.
Yeah, because there's too many balls of ketchup on the shelf.
There's too, that's
the
US
fucking problem.
Is like, man,
there's too much ketchup. They don't know which one to buy.
Yeah. And when you buy the wrong one, you're potentially
take it home and it's gross.
Yeah.
And you're fucked. That's it.
You could get burned really badly.
Yeah, and you lost money too, because now you got to put it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Done. Love it.